So we stopped the sunlight right as Satana went inside Solheim's body.
And
After getting into the sunlight, Satana runs into Solheim's body, and we kind of finally see Solheim's innocent and his true character.
yeah, we see what Stroheim's willing to do to avenge his comrades.
Mutterland! Mutterland!
Yep.
Oh,
And he fucking eats a grenade and blows himself up.
He doesn't eat it. He puts it actually right in his stomach.
I mean, that's where things go when you eat them, if you think about it.
Yeah, but he
I know what you're saying.
Towards his lower body.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, didn't Santana also eat a vampire by doing that?
Huh. Interesting.
I can taste when they do that.
But yeah, it's actually this whole fight had an exciting conclusion and everything. Like, it's a pretty good fight.
Oh yeah. But then Santana is released from his fleshy prison.
And he's turned to stone.
Yeah, and well, not entirely. He tries to hide. But Joseph pursues him, and they kind of fall into this well. And Santana's like, "Ha! I have won. There's no way I can turn to stone here." And then Joseph, in a fucking 189 IQ move here, just decides he uses the reflection off of the water to make the sunlight doubly intense, and therefore turning him to stone faster.
That's what I call a stone ocean. I was waiting.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
So since you kind of disappeared during our conversation of the fight, what did you think of this fight?
I think it's weird. It's like if you ever play most classic 3D platformer hack and slash games where like the final boss or a big boss has multiple phases. That's what this fight feels like. It feels like a 3-phase fight rather than one big fight.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that, and that's probably why I kind of dig it, actually.
Yeah, I like it too. It's a different flow to how all the other fights go in the part, and like on its own, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of it, but in conjunction with all of the other fights in the whole part entirely, you have like this weird appreciation for it.
Oh yeah, I would say it's the best fight of the part. I already know what my personal favorite fight of the part is, and we'll get to that when we get to that.
Mine already happened.
Oh, which one was that?
Hell yeah. Straits, right?
I was gonna make a joke and say it was the police officer, but actually it probably would be Straits. Now that I think about it.
Okay, well I'll just say mine has yet to happen yet. I think Sad can probably guess what mine is, knowing the type of person I am.
Probably, I think I can
we'll
guess
get to
what it is.
But we now get to episode 14, where things slow down a bit.
We're going on an adventure.
Arrives at Rome because one thing we kind of glossed over, we were told that there's 3 more of these Pillman in Rome.
Oh yeah, that's a
hidden under the Colosseum. Yeah. Which, if you think about it, is quite a very iconic place for JoJo, come to think of it.
It really is.
A new venture, la la.
But we have Buddy Joseph in the restaurant being grumpy that some pretty boy is flirting with some ladies.
Yeah, and he in the fan sub that I watched, that actually had all of the names proper. In the fan sub, Joseph uses the F word, as it were, to describe how Caesar, how this dude is.
Oh God. Oh god.
Like every other Italian in the show, apparently.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying all Italian people are F words.
But yeah, just
Well,
thought
in
that would
JoJo.
thought I would point that out. Like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, we're keeping it PG-17.
But the I guess it would work for the 1940s.
I guess, but
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
it's a
interesting.
very thing.
Just thought I'd bring that up.
But it turns out that this pretty boy ain't just any pretty boy. He is Caesar Zeppeli, the grandson of real Zeppeli,
And the son of
some guy.
Zeppeli.
The son of Mario
Mario.
It's me.
is literally
Mario.
named Mario.
Well, it's not like Mario's an uncommon name. It's a pretty common
Mm,
Italian
It's a
name.
common Italian name, but
Yes.
I think most Western people have only one picture when they hear the word Mario as a name.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Mario Balotelli,
Yes,
Clearly.
exactly.
the footballer. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
Canadians.
So,
They don't
but
like
don't you
soccer.
think of Westerners think of the of that Mario movie? Don't you think?
Hey, come on over to Cartoon Network. We're doing Mario. And if you don't, we'll jump on you like a Goomba.
You know the funny thing? Mario was never supposed to have an Italian accent.
Yeah,
The original plan was for him to be Brooklyn.
to have a
Brooklyn
yeah.
accent.
That was completely Charles Martinet's decision on that, and they
Yep,
loved it
and-
so much that they decided to just go with it.
But yeah, if you look at older Nintendo comics and stuff, they always have him speaking like a Brooklyner.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
even
yeah,
in the even in the cartoons, that's how they sounded.
Yep.
With fucking Captain Lou Albano, the wrestler, voicing Mario.
Why? What is Nintendo's obsession with New York? Oh,
It's a
like,
big city.
Yeah.
yeah, but like,
But
a lot of
anyways,
their-
this is not the Nintendo Mario History podcast episode.
nah.
Not yet.
That'll be probably after.
But yeah, after this meeting the name of this person, we kind of go back to Speedwagon, finding out that Satana is still alive, and they are keeping him under UV lights to keep him imprisoned, so they can do research on how to kill him.
Good old Speedwagon Foundation.
In a lot of
Foundation of
context,
Speed.
In a lot of contexts, this would sound like a villain move.
Yeah, but well,
But it's always the
it
villains
also
that have the
in
rational
other
way of
context it would sound like foreshadowing, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah,
Because the Speedwagon Foundation would continue to exist long into the future here, and they still have this Pillar Man just kind of chilling down there.
Yeah,
So
but,
if what doesn't that sound like a bad enough omen?
Could he be Poochie?
but Speedwagon eventually meets up with Joseph and Caesar, and they are bickering.
Yeah, they do not like
Badly.
each other whatsoever.
What?
Culminating-
What gave you that idea?
Culminating in the
Probably
greatest
one-
battle of the greatest battle of the century.
Probably the best comedic battle in the series.
Yeah.
I would put up there. Like, at least in part 2. Part 3 has some good comedic ones, but
Yeah,
this battle is great.
It's a bird
Yep.
from a bird.
yeah. Caesar summons a lady in an attack mode, and Joseph responds.
You
By some-
fool! You activated my trap card!
You've activated my pigeon.
I knew you were going to kiss the lady again, so I put a pigeon
Inside of her mouth.
How would you know it would be that? Imagine you just did that where like everyone in the area is like, I don't know what he's into. Oh, it could be blonde.
Man!
It could be brunette. It could be men.
I just need to
Shove
put
pigeons in everyone's house.
pigeons in everybody. That's
This
Joseph's
battle-
true ultimate
This
technique.
battle was a once again, good levity before things got serious again.
Yeah.
And we kind of get a little bit of how Caesar is. We see a little bit of his bubble launcher technique, which is much
cool.
cooler than anything his grandfather ever did.
I like the wine disc thing, but he does that with the bubbles in anyways, and he does like loads of them.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
But Zeppeli did have a cool attack.
But, don't you love his attack names though?
Yeah, I do. I actually do like his attack names. But he just names everything.
But yeah, Caesar the whole dislikes Joseph because he feels Jonathan lets them will die.
Because that makes sense.
But he's also a lot more serious than, or outwardly serious than Joseph.
How would he know?
He doesn't. They don't know each other yet.
No, but
That's
how would
right.
he even know about Jonathan?
Well, I think it was probably passed down to the family how Sepley died.
Probably by
have been.
stripes.
Probably by strikes, yeah.
Yeah, because like, there's no way Erina was gonna get through to Caesar. Because I don't think Erina even met Zeppeli. No, she did.
He met Sepley briefly.
Yeah, so it would have to be Strites.
Yeah.
And that would make sense considering someone is connected
Yeah,
to Caesar.
The one thing you forgot about that fight, Stan, is when Sepley puts Joseph in a massive bubble, and then he kisses the lady, and because of the pigeon, he drops the bubble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
I activate bubble prison. You're not going to be moving anywhere now.
Cappy's
You
best
fool.
attack.
One of the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh battles ever, guys.
Yep.
So fun to see.
The true
Yeah.
ultimate battle.
The Italian versus the Joestar. Is he British? Is he American?
He
Oh,
like
would you-
grew up in Britain and then moved to America.
Yeah.
So
So was it accurate that he has a British accent? Or would he have a New Yorker accent?
nah, I
He would
think
have
it
a
was
new-
like he's only been there at that point for like a small period of time. At least to my
Yeah.
understanding.
And that just raises even more questions about the whole grenade thing being a thing from the streets. There's no way that was a thing in England.
Oh my. The things you
Also,
learn.
Strikes me as the
Why
person.
While the characters rest, and we meet the most important character of all, Mark, who shows a
He's-
picture of his fiance, so we know he's going to live through this and have a
He's
happy
2 weeks
ending.
from he's 2 days from retirement, guys.
And he's going to get married right after he retires.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at all these nice things this German soldier in the 1940s has.
But yeah, we're introduced to Mark, who's really just a nice guy.
He's such a cool dude. I bet he
Legitimate.
didn't commit any war crimes.
Nah, couldn't have.
Nah, not good
Oh,
old
God.
Mark. What kind of name is Mark for a German?
Really, for the storyline purposes, he's a good guy. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
So, under the Colosseum, they are looking at the pyramids, making sure they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Then suddenly, I think one guy gets killed by a trap or something.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the
yeah,
entire thing just
the
kind of
guy
happens
decides to-
really quickly.
yeah.
Like, I think one person dies from a trap, and the blood goes to the pillar, which wakes up Wamu, and that wakes everybody up.
Awaken my masters. Which becomes exactly, which is a precursor to the the greatest theme I've ever heard in JoJo.
But yeah,
The most recognizable, anyways.
So when our
Yeah.
heroes are alive, they're not already dead, all of them.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the poor Nazi.
And Wham decides to. He just ignores everybody else and he just walks. And walks right past Mark, but he just walks through him. And
See, the thing is, right?
I think I'm
Wham
trying to
is
kill
very
Mark.
tall. I don't even think he knew Mark was there, right? Because you know
I
when
don't
like
think
you
he
wake
did.
up in the morning. Yeah, I think he survived. Mark is built different. He is the actual.
oh yeah,
main
he lived a
character,
happy
so.
life with 2 children.
Used before.
All right, guys, I'll bring this up. Mark is one of the most hilarious example of the 2 days from retirement type character. Like, he's so that and so much more. It's hilarious.
He's not even much more. He's just 2 days from retirement in the middle of the war. I don't think he's allowed to retire.
No, wasn't he, after this exhibition was done, he was going to be able to marry his girlfriend and not be a soldier anymore, I think it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in real life, if that happened, I'm pretty sure he would be like, "Yeah, I'm free," and then like call back like a month later.
Probably. But,
Because
yeah.
like Stalingrad happened afterwards.
but Mark, here's the thing. Even back then when I wasn't all used to every trope and everything, I kind of knew Mark was dead as soon as he saw the family photo.
Yeah,
So,
For sympathy
guys, if you are
purposes.
ever in a movie, anime, or anything, never show your freaking family photo.
if you were somehow
Yeah.
in an anime, kudos to you. I want to be there too. Hopefully, you didn't get hit by a big vehicle to get there.
Yeah. Fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, let's hope it was like some sort of oops, I tripped and fall in school. I wake up, I'm in monster school. And not
Yeah.
I was hit by a truck.
Exactly. Truck who literally jumped into my 2nd floor window to kill me.
Yeah. It was just a normal day at the office. I was by the water cooler and the water cooler transformed into Optimus Prime, which transformed into a truck and hit me.
But yeah, with Mark dead, Caesar uses his Harmon to put him out peacefully so he's not in pain.
The swell guy to the end.
Because he was pretty much half his body was absorbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might as well introduce our villains for this part. Yes, we are a few episodes in, and now we finally have met our main 3 villains.
Yeah. And you
He-
thought that was long in part 1? First panel? Yeah, that took ages. Part 2? It's like, what, 7 episodes? It's insane.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till we
so
get to part 8.
Oh gosh.
Does it even have a villain yet? Don't answer
Yeah.
me because what?
Nothing.
I swear. Oh, I have thoughts about that when we get to it. Good gravy, I do.
But
It's so
anyways,
weird being
we-
the only one caught up.
Yeah.
Hey, we meet ADDC, Cars, and Ramu.
I don't know Cars or Wham songs, so you just get Thunderstruck.
I mean, that's all you need.
Wait, was Wham Wake Me Up Before You Go Go?
I don't know.
Was it?
I think so, actually. Hold on.
Okay. But I'll continue the summary while you guys go.
Yeah.
They explained the plan to get the
It totally
Westerners-
fucking is.
Hey!
Hey, they explained the plan to get the Redstone of Asia, which was once possessed by the Roman Emperor, and they wanted to unlock the true power of the Stone Mask.
Yes.
And that's really the end of the episode. And we get and next episode is essentially a fight episode. Are you guys noticing the pattern yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pattern, though. I like it.
Mhm.
I like it a lot.
I'm not saying it's a bad pattern.
Yeah, it's a good
And
pattern for
especially
the...
summarizing, it makes it much easier because fight scenes are easy to go over.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so in storyline wise, it's literally about the same length as part 1. Which only took me like 3 hours per episode. No, actually, it took a lot longer. That's a lie. I don't want to go in
But
this.
yeah, the battle starts off with Caesar trying to fight Ramu.
Trying.
it does not go well.
Trying his best. That poor soul, he blew his bubbles as hard as he could. He huffed and puffed and got...
But Wamu is just like, pop, pop.
Look at little bubbles.
Yeah, and then Joseph being jealous that this dude has a signature technique is like,
Oi,
shit, I want to...
Look at my bollocks!
Look at my balls!
Have balls. What does Caesar have? Bubbles could be multiple balls. Shut up!
They can't form any other shape.
But yeah, Wamu pretty much tells us the history that hominidus have existed fighting the Pale Man for centuries. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Like,
I guess they all just kind of fled to Tibet.
I mean, they had to.
I mean, I guess.
I mean,
Hey.
the Pillar Men were fighting the Hamon warriors, but the Pillar Men were also fighting other Pillar Men.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And we get to that because it's kind of thrust in there at the very end.
they're just dicks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wamu's about to start to face off Caesar because he gave a good warrior battle, and then Joseph's like, "Yo, I have balls."
Yo,
Yeah.
bro, let me see them balls. Wamu must see. And,
And Wamu is like, "I'll fight for you for a minute because you look pathetic."
it was kind of pathetic, but in fairness, Joseph did wipe his balls on Wamu's face.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good enough for Wamu.
Yeah, and at that point,
I hate you.
and
Summary of this. Why?
I was talking.
Suffer?
Yes. I mean, I am chaotic good, and then I have an alter ego that's chaotic neutral. But he's a Scottish accent.
Yeah, apparently in real life I'm chaotic evil. Take for that what you will.
Damn. Where do you fall on the chart, Zad?
good.
I don't know,
question.
Zad seems kind of sus. Okay.
Clearly, I am also chaotic evil, right? I actually have no idea.
I think you did a test once, and weren't you like neutral something?
Maybe.
I
can't remember.
I don't think he's lawful neutral. There's no way he'd be lawful neutral.
Anyways,
True neutral?
anyways, really, the whole fight with Joseph is to pretty much distract Wamu and get him away from Caesar and Speedwagon. Oh yeah, Speedwagon's also there, but
Speedwagon's been
two
here
guys.
this entire time.
but it's not like Speedwagon as an old man is really doing anything. If he did nothing
Like
as a
Speedwagon
kid,
is... Yeah.
Yeah.
if he did nothing when he was young, do you really expect him to do something as an old man?
Yes. Commentate. But you couldn't do that because he was knocked out.
Oh, he did commentate. He's like, Joseph is taking him away, so Wamu will go out for him and not us.
What happens if Wamu overhears that? He's like, oh wait, what? And then just like crushes both of their heads. Like...
Joseph's plan works, and then he tries, essentially, kind of go into Wamu's honor. And kind of goes,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like
I will lose now, but if you give me 2 weeks, I'll beat ya.
it's a month, but yeah.
Oh, a month.
Yeah. Give me a month and I'll be actually worth fighting. Don't you want a good fight? Huh? And Wen's like, yes, I actually do want a good fight.
How the hell did you know that? Your offer intrigues me.
Yeah.
I feel...
And so you don't wimp out.
And yeah,
I'm
Joseph gets
giving
married
you-
twice. Joseph gets a
Yeah.
harem.
Hey, yeah, and ADCC is watching. Is like, me too, guys. Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah. You know what? I like this too. So I'm gonna also propose to you.
Yeah.
The funny part is, ADDC looks at us. Do you want to try? He's like, nope. I have
He's like-
no interest in this little fantasies you guys have.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
and at that point, Joseph became a prison bitch to both of them.
Essentially, and really,
well,
this is also
and to
a
other
turning
people.
point- And this is also the turning
Oh
point
my
on how
God.
Caesar sees Joseph, because he sees Joseph's true character throughout this, and Caesar begins to respect him, and the antagonisms are still there, but they are a lot less, and they start to grow a real genuine friendship. And I say this here, this is why Caesar is much better than Separately. We are growing to a character who, at first, was kind of hard to get into, but the more we see him and the more he interacts with our main character, the more we start to feel for him as well.
Well, the nice thing
Yeah.
about the relationship between Joseph and Caesar is that,
It feels
They-
very natural.
well, yeah, they're not they're different personalities and they clash, but there's also a mutual respect there. So it's not
Especially after this fight.
yeah, it's a lot more dynamic than the Joestar Zeppeli combo from the last part. And it brings more life into the relationship, and you can really see that.
Yes. Hell, having Caesar here helps with a lot of things, and I'm not really going too much into Caesar because there's time to go into Caesar. But Caesar is a great breath of fresh air because he's a secondary character or secondary protagonist that we needed.
Mm-hmm.
We needed somebody that is different from the main character but can be on their level.
Yeah, he's the Johan.
Well, separately, we don't know what role they're really going for. The mentor, the friend.
Well, in fairness, Zeppeli, when he died, he was like, "It's like I have a son and a best friend all in one. Give you my life, my will, and my keys overdrive."
Where this one, we're seeing a progression in this relationship.
Fuck the hermit trope. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next episode, we are introduced to another important character. Where Joseph and Caesar just trying to figure out what the fuck they're going to do, and Caesar's like, "I'll take you to my teacher."
Mark's wife.
Oh! Oh no!
Yes. Well, we meet the character Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot to this character, but we'll go to that when things are revealed. So I'm just going to get myself a drink. Sad you can continue on. I'll come right back.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So speaking of becoming somebody's prison bitch, Joseph tries to fight Lisa because he's like, "There's no way a girl can actually can beat me," and then she immediately puts a fucking slave mask on him.
Yeah, I mean, no, I can't even make those jokes comfortably. So, yeah, he gets the slave mask, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm going to take you to an island that looks a lot bigger than it actually is." And
Yeah.
it's the
Ersaplana Island. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Plana Island. And then they're gonna need a montage with like two random guys that appear as well. Tall hat guys, can't remember their names for the life of me. But do you remember their names? By any chance?
the two mentors?
Yes.
Ah, yes. Loggins and Messina.
How could I? No, actually, those names, like, I vividly remember those names too, and I'm like, how can I forget them?
Alright, why are we talking about names?
Loggins and
And Messina.
I remember
yeah.
I
Are we already
remember.
go for climbing the pillar then?
No, we're getting to that.
No,
but I
we're
was
getting
just-
to that. Eric.
Loggins and the other one are not introduced until after that, actually.
Yeah. Rick-
Okay.
I don't.
So, Jojo and Caesar are very deeply in debt. They need money bad, so they climb up the slippery pole.
Covered in oil.
I am really sorry to hate this. Why do I agree to these?
Well, I mean, they kind of ran into some trouble, and so like Lisa decided to like they went to Lisa for help, and she's like, I now own you.
Ew.
Well, the cool thing about the climbing of the pillar is we see both Caesar and Joseph climb the pillar, and you kind of see the difference of the characters once again clash, but work together at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we see Caesar climb the pillar the correct way, the way that you're trained to, through all the hard work and through what you're supposed to do.
And then there's Jojo.
And there's Joseph.
Then there's Joseph's way of doing it.
He does it right a little bit, and then he gets to he tries to climb it normally, doesn't he? Well, first he uses the scarf.
So first he tries to cheat, and Lisa says, "Fuck you, bitch, no."
Yeah.
And then does he try and climb it normally without Hamon?
Yes, and then with Hamon, and then after a while he finds a small gap that he can rest his arms on.
Yeah, and that
unleashes... I don't even know.
A very high pressurized ring of oil.
Yeah.
I can sound smart too sometimes.
Good job.
Thank you.
But yeah, so like,
but yeah, Caesar points out to Lisa that this is impossible to get through.
And then
Joseph's like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna do it anyways." Kind of.
Yeah, Joseph is built different.
Well, really, what Joseph does, I'm not going to explain the Harmon bullshit, but what he does is essentially launch himself to the other side where he's not covered in oil.
Pretty much, yeah. What he does is he takes the pressure, because apparently oil is an extremely good conductor of Hamon. So he grabs onto it through the pressurized stream, and because it has so much pressure, he's able to stick to it with the Hamon for a bit longer than, say, if you were blast back normally. So he slides towards the other wall. And with the pressure, he was able to make a big enough leap to actually make it to the other side, despite it being a decently big gap.
Yep. And once again, we see... Once again, this is great showing both the similarities and differences between Caesar and Joseph. Because we see the right way doing it and the Joseph way doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean...
And after this, is like, you both impressed me. Let me meet you guys, these very important people who will train you. Loggins and Mesa.
And we're gonna need a montage?
If you could call it that.
Is it a montage? It's like one slide.
Yeah, essentially.
In the anime, they kind of show like a small montage.
Small,
like very small.
But they are training for the next few weeks, and really, we know nothing about these two teachers, which will make the next thing kind of lack anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has an even bigger hit, though, because you wouldn't expect it.
Oh yeah, we'll get to it.
Yes.
But yeah, these two guys, they are our teachers now.
Surprise!
Happy birthday, son.
So we are in now in episode 17, where Cause is going... Has anyone found the Red Sword of Asia yet? Fuck.
We were supposed to be looking for that?
Yeah.
And then we cut to Lisa saying, I have this Red Sword of Asia.
Yeah. By the way, guys, look at my cool new Redstone of Asia.
I just found it because it's like, has anyone found it? Fuck. And then Lisa's like, So this is a redstone of Aza.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Right? Of all things.
Oh.
How the
But
fuck
he-
did they
he's
find
just like, oh, okay, you guys, you have to do one-on-one fights against Loggins and Mass. What's his name?
Messina.
Messina. Why is Loggins one that dies? Fuck.
Right?
Because
Anyway,
it.
anyways, we see the beginning of Messina and Caesar sought the battle, and when Joseph comes to meet Loggins, he finds him dead.
With
Hey,
no
have his-
backstory of his life given beforehand.
No
Yeah.
backstory. No, only 2 lines
But-
of dialogue.
But we glossed over a very important point.
okay.
He had his lungs ripped out. And lungs
But those
are
are
vital
for a
to
hormone user.
I forgot about that, actually.
I mean, the same thing happened to me like a few weeks ago. Luckily, I'm not a hormone user, so it's grand.
So you survived, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Since you did need Hamon,
Yeah,
you just brought it up.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no big
I
deal.
hate you all.
Why did he do that? Like, why did he? That must have just been extra effort at that point. Because like,
Yeah, like what would even be the
snapped his
point?
neck.
But yeah, after a few seconds, Joseph will finds ADDC right on top of the dead body. And Joseph realizes he has a tougher test than he anticipated.
Yeah, which by the way is kind of suddenly disrupts what we believed to be like how these pillar men were power scaled, because the way we were introduced to these guys, AC/DC and Cars were the masters, and Wham meanwhile was like their apprentice.
But here's the thing. ADCC may be probably a better leader, but Ram is probably the better fighter, is what we are seeing here.
Exactly,
is
but we
weird.
don't really know that at that point.
And I guess we could say things heat up pretty much instantly in this fight.
Oh yes,
Ah.
there you go.
I'm leaving, bye.
Embrace it.
No, you did that.
That
on
was
purpose.
yourself, yeah.
I
You need to
I
embrace
feel
that.
I
You
feel
advertised.
ashamed. I feel ashamed. I feel like I dishonored myself.
Well, that's because you did.
I mean, yeah, can't argue with that.
But it's worth it.
Indeed.
But yeah, we
Worth it.
find out ADDC's
It's
little
just
gimmick. His gimmick is to rise his temperature heat to it says right here 500 degrees Celsius
And
and make
that's like,
his blood very hot.
for our American audience out there, I'm going to look up what
The
500.
Fahrenheit?
Yeah,
Alright.
that's Google Images.
Oh.
That won't be very helpful. Degrees. F to C. No, I want the other way around. But hold on, mate. I am very not intelligent. 932 degrees Fahrenheit. That is such a weird formula.
That is right.
It's like
How do people do this?
you take the Fahrenheit minus 32 in brackets and then multiply it by 5/9.
but yeah,
Actual fuck.
Jonathan's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm smart. I'll just chop off your arm. And then ADDC's like,
That's another tick. Ding.
and ADDC's like, you know what? I'll just take Logan's arm and just melt his face.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it anyway, I mean, you might as well. Like, why not?
If it's there.
Like, if the ability to melt someone's face off was available to you, this is gonna make me sound like a psychopath. No, you know what? I'm okay.
But something of note here is that this entire fight is is done on a pit of spikes, not over a pit of spikes.
On a pit of
On
spikes. And
the spikes themselves.
Come on, a pit of spikes.
Ham on a pit of spikes?
I'm on a pit.
But as this fight is starting to pick up, I'm about to bring up that Caesar finishes his trial against
Caesar and Messina are just watching this all unfold.
About after the fight. Hey, Messina's like, your bubbles took off all my arm hair. I give up.
If this went any further, one of us would have died, and it would have been me. So you win. That was.
But the funny thing is when he says, "Look at my arms. This arm hair is completely gone. I was fucked."
Yes, because that is definitely the same strength as the Pillarman.
Definitely.
So Caesar picks up the knuckles and goes, "Oh fuck."
Yep.
And they just kind of watch from a distance, and then eventually, after a few more action scenes, they're like, "You know what? Let's just go to Lisa. There's nothing we can do to help Joseph at this point."
Well, yeah. I mean, wasn't he like, screw it, it'll be a test anyways?
Mm-hmm.
No? Are they just that incompetent? I swear it was like a test thing.
Not sure how that,
Was Bubble
how that
Man
broke
created
down
by Caesar?
Well, the thing is, it just feels like, I feel like Caesar would have wanted to go in and help the fight anyways, even if Joseph might die before he gets there.
Perhaps.
I don't know, yeah.
But it really doesn't matter because this fight is kind of unimpressive, honestly. Like, it did...
It has a nice swerve at the end, though. Well, not...
It does have a nice swerve, but... What do you think, Sam? What do you think of this fight? You can describe it if you want.
It's a battle of wits. Like, and this is what I like about Joseph as a character. He is very much brains over brawn when it comes down to it. Despite having the aforementioned brawn, he is smart about it. So, like, AC/DC, he's a smart dude too. So these guys were kind of like standing there a lot of the time, being like, it's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes versus Moriarty kind of deal.
And didn't ADDC kind of do the Joseph chick to Joseph a couple times?
Indeed.
Yes.
And he cried also to throw him off. And Joseph's like, wait a minute, shit, I can't read this dude now.
Does Cars have a tick like that?
No, I don't think so.
Because I know Wamu does. And they're like, oh, all the Pillar Men do. But they don't.
Yeah, no.
So Cars is a very weird character when we get to him, because I'll say it, Cars is very inconsistent on what he is.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, it was like, what, 1989?
It was in the 80s.
It's late 80s, though.
Late 80s.
Yeah.
Because I know Part 3 was early to mid-90s.
Oh god, that's so bright. Google, why are you so bright? Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, well. It's, but anyways, like, so, like, AC/DC is doing the same thing as Joseph, which is, like, this dude is essentially, like, again, we see that step up from the last one. We've gone from, like, a pillar man who, like, has just woken up. He's, I guess, wasn't very strong in comparison. Suddenly, there's this pillar man that's exactly like Joseph. And that is, again, terrifying. How the fuck? But as Joseph puts it himself, "You may have outsmarted me, but I outsmarted your outsmarting."
Ugh.
Big brain.
Yeah. Whereas Joseph tries to do a trick unraveling the threads of his hat around so he can, like, pump him full of Hamon and just destroy him. AC/DC's like, "I saw through that, and I've also placed my veins all around this thing to cut your strings." And Joseph's like, "Well, actually, I've used, I learned this magic trick once, so that you actually cut them in spots that he didn't actually cut them at all. So,
how could he have cut them in the first place?
Exactly.
You know the funny thing that this is reminding me of, Sad?
What's that?
First season of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes.
My card does this, but actually this card does this that does this.
Well, I summoned 3 blue eyes white dragons.
Wait, did you just summon a bunch of
Zodiac?
Did you just summon a bunch of monsters in one turn?
Perhaps. But it's you, Yugi.
Like, this fight sounds like that type of stuff. That type of
That's
thing.
exactly what it is. Yeah. And it's like, not a lot actually happens, like, in terms of blows being exchanged. It's just suddenly, plans upon plans upon plans being foiled, one after the other.
This is a 35,721 IQ play.
Oh, there you go.
That is a 189 squared.
It's a very fun fight when you are doing the psychoanalyzing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's actually the perfect fight for Joseph.
I'm more of a different type of fighter guy, but I am seeing the appeal now that you kind of pointed out to me.
Well, exactly. Which is why it gets a little wonky later.
I'm getting the excitement.
Hells yeah. So that happens, and essentially AC/DC gets roasted. But yeah! But
I've done so much. That was too far. Left me thunderstruck.
Boy, you see left hot on the battlefield.
What?
Left is hot on the battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's obvious.
And Joseph carried the weight of that fight with him. It's like, huh.
Now, here's the weird thing after this fight where he gets
on a highway to hell.
How does Joseph make it back to the manor before Caesar and the other dude?
Right? Weren't they supposed to be going there?
Because they apparently go back there to tell Lisa about the fight with AC/DC's happening. Joseph gets there before them anyways.
Huh.
I don't know.
I'm confused.
Maybe.
Did they stop by a McDonald's? It's like, we really should tell Lisa, but I'm kind of getting hungry. How about you, Caesar?
You know, the Joestars are just really fast. Wait, no, they're not. What am I thinking about? I was like, oh yeah, because Jonathan and Joseph got to the mansion. Not Jonathan and Joseph, Jonathan and Dio got to the mansion before your man. And I was like, no, it's the other way around.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Joseph has just practiced the Joestar secret technique so much.
A little too much.
Yeah. So that it's like he could stop time.
By the way, I do have one. I don't usually bring this up, but why did you have to call it Boss Solheim's Revenge? You kind of spoiled something interesting reveal.
Well, yeah.
I don't really go into episode names that often, but if you're going through a service that may solo use the episode name, and you have never seen this before, I feel like that's kind of a...
Every anime does that, though.
Oh, yeah. But this one is the better ones I have seen in a while.
I feel like every single anime has a really bad one, though.
I know Dragon Ball Z has the episode where character dies.
Yeah, but like that's not even that big of a deal because like it's Dragon Ball, but it literally has like it revealed like Vegeta's new form and stuff. Like that was one of them. I think Hunter x Hunter, it was like character dies or something like that.
Well, Hunter x Hunter had a naming for it where it's like 3 different words.
Yeah. Death and taxes. The only things that is... How does that saying go?
The only things
whatever.
that are certain in life.
So...
It's Death and Hatsune Miku.
We really didn't talk about this, but we are... but there's this character named Suzy Q.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't.
It was Lisa's maid.
He's Lisa's maid. After Lisa goes to have a bath, Suzy Q bumps into Joseph coming back from the battle, and he's like, "Oh, you're back sooner than expected."
Yeah. And is this the point where his mask gets removed?
His mask was removed during the fight.
Okay. Gotcha.
And they had some awkward flirting, but any flirting is awkward, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's... Yeah. That's just Joseph being a...
Boys,
Just...
do we have this debate, or do we leave it be?
But
I just need to know your answers.
Wait, what?
what
One
debate?
word, don't think about it. But is it Lisa or Suzy Q?
Lisa, or... Oh. Are you going that route? Oh!
Yes. Of course I'm going that route. Is it Lisa or Suzy Q? And there is a correct answer.
Wait,
Well,
what?
I mean, Joseph certainly seems to have a clear answer at that point. I passed that off as just, him like awkwardly flirting with the maid, because like people do that to maids all the time.
What? What maids do?
I see that a lot in things, okay?
What are you doing, man?
But regardless of what Joseph says, because I know who I'm picking.
Yeah. This might call
Sad.
some things into question.
Since this is more of a you question than a me question.
I'm asking you both. You can't get out of this either, Jack.
Well, neither of them have the personality types for my waifu preferences, and Sad knows that.
That's
mean-
fair.
Honestly, Suzy Q has my kind of preference in terms of personality wise, but Lisa, mate, just well, I think Joseph says it best. Nice.
So
I said, what's the right answer?
oh, the right answer was Suzy Q, but you know what? Either way is
Yeah, exactly. Well, I saw somebody somebody on Reddit was like 4Kidsifying certain JoJo scenes.
how do you fork?
And one of the things that he 4Kidsified was the Lisa scene.
Bath?
Yep.
I'm guessing there was plenty of bubbles.
Oh no! Like, here's what happens. All right,
I
so
have to hear this.
hang on.
I've been re-looking at 4Kids edits from One Piece because I've been curious. Oh god, it's so great in a bad way.
Hang on.
It's a rubber knife.
I can't wait to talk about One Piece one day.
Oh, absolutely.
Here we go.
You will have to talk about 4Kids stuff.
So this is the 4Kids Lisa scene, as according to Shy Guy Gamer 667 on Shitpost Crusaders here.
Okay, but
I should check on Miss Lisa to make sure she's okay. Oh! And he looks in the keyhole, and it's like, and he has that scene, and then it cuts to a different scene, and he says, "Oh, it's the oh no thing," and he's like, "Totally gross, man! I just saw my teacher in her underwear." Like, yeah,
only 4Kids.
yeah.
That's no rubber knife, but
Yeah. They've done a bunch of that.
Oh, sending you to a dungeon for the rest of
For the rest of your days. This dude's done a bunch of them at this point.
It must have been an oily keyhole.
Yeah.
Also, he
Maybe.
must have kissed the keyhole. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
In fairness, 4 kids wouldn't care about seeing consistency.
Of course not.
4 kids dubs. Well, there's a term for what the dubs are actually. They're not the same as a normal dub. The term actually is hack dub.
I've got one more of these scenes to introduce when you get to the another point later on in this anime.
But yeah, after going to Suzy Q, ADDC kind of just goes,
Well,
I guess I'll take this body over the big muscly one.
Yeah.
seems like a downgrade, but sure.
Right? Yeah, weird flex, but all right.
Well, maybe it's because Joseph
Hamon.
had Hamon or something, but
Maybe.
out of all the times that the narrator could have explained something, they could have explained that.
Yeah.
Right?
Ow. Okay.
But yeah, he possesses Suziku, and Joseph pulls on Lisa, which makes things awkward much later down the road.
Yeah, that'd be grand.
I mean, we
No,
know
it could
that
be great.
we know, people always say that, like, people always call, like, Kakyoin and Okuyasu as, like, the original MILF hunters. Nah, mate. we know Joseph's preference here.
The awkward thing is just from a line of dialogue that really was just a 4-way line, and people just grabbed onto it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have no idea what you said, but yeah.
We're talking about how...
Oh no, I understand the whole MILF Hunter thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They all...
Absolutely. Joseph was the original, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, not only... no, wait, what's her name? Japanese woman?
Tomoko?
Later. Tomoko, yeah. Nah. She was pretty
What?
young when... Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's not overthink Joseph's escapade throughout his life.
We'll get
Yeah,
to that, though.
he's had quite the bizarre adventure.
Yeah.
That one wasn't
Because-
even up.
Because it's complicated.
Anyways,
But
so Suzy Q gets...
obsessed.
Yeah.
And I think
He's a
this is one of the cooler scenes.
And Caesar comes running and saying, I have to tell about the fight. It's like, oh, hey, Joseph. Wait, Joseph?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ran here. Where were you? We walked. You walked. Yes, we walked. How slowly? It was like a moderate pace.
We took a stop at the local food stop, but that's because we wanted to be ready for combat.
Yes, we just got a snack.
If you wanted to be so ready for combat, what food did you get? It was something healthy, right? It was
No.
a 6-piece McNugget.
But yeah, let's go. I guess ADDC versus everybody.
Essentially, like Lisa,
Such a
like
cool-
ACDC is like, ha! You can't kill me because I'm inside this girl, and you'll have to kill this girl in order to kill me. And Joseph and Caesar are like, fuck that. Let's just both use 2 different kinds of Hamon on her. One to stabilize her, and the other to fucking flush out ACDC. And
So, like-
ACDC's like, wait, that's illegal.
How does that work, though? Like, is it like one takes a really deep breath in, and that's like this like the south end of the magnetization, and then the other is breathing out constantly.
I honestly thought that you were about to say the south end of Susie Q, and I'm like, mate.
No. I'll be a lot more vulgar about it.
Oh God, Dad,
But-
you're having way too much fun in this.
Fuck
I think
yeah,
we
I
all
am.
are.
Yeah.
Oh man, but
You might not want to admit it, but you are too, Jack.
Indeed.
But yeah, like, 'cause I assume that has to be what they're doing. Because like, how can you just have different types of hormone?
Yeah, it's got to be like it's just the two different ways
Breathing.
that they're two different people, I guess. Je ne sais
No,
pas.
because Caesar can do them both. Caesar did them
Yeah, I
both on the
guess.
tower.
But I
That's
guess
how
they
we
can
got through
only
the jet
I guess
stream.
they can only do like one or the other.
I
at any
think it's
given
also
time.
different because there's another life entity present, which is
Yeah.
Q's.
So maybe
I'm just
that's...
figuring out how you do different types of hormone.
But regardless, they pretty much kill ADDC, but ADDC was able to mail out the Stone of Asia.
Man, that's like the
Somehow.
fastest post office I've ever seen, right?
I know, and Caesar was trying to run to it, but the car got away too fast.
Like, how the fuck? How the fuck do you miss something like that? Like,
Is there shadow clones? There has to
So-
be some sort of shadow clone.
So,
Hi.
so Suzuki decides to just rest up and say goodbye to the funny carpet of Joseph, Caesar, Lisa, and Master's like, I'm coming too, guys. Don't worry, I'll be important.
yeah. But of course, we get the biggest, what's it?
Well,
The biggest hint on what the right answer is by Susie Q calling Joseph a baka as he's leaving.
Yep. You
Just like-
idiot.
God damn it.
These men watched the dub. They still referenced the fact that she said Baka.
Well,
I watched the
The
sub.
dad
and
watched
the-
both.
I watched
Oh, you
both.
watched the sub? I thought you watched the dub as well.
I did. I watched both
Why?
why not?
to shop and
Fair
compare.
point.
And I looked at the point scenes from both. Like, I watched the dub fully, and then I look at the big scenes that really are worth seeing the difference of.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is. I feel like part 2 is the weakest dub of JoJo.
Yeah.
And my least favorite part in the entire dub is actually coming up next.
I will
Ah,
say
I
there
see.
is some weaknesses, but it's actually a very good dub, in my opinion.
It's like if I were to rate it, I'd rate it like a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10, yeah.
The only thing that kind of bugs me, and this is my problem with most dubs, is yelling scenes is just hard for English voice actors, it seems.
I mean, for the most part, yeah. Unless your name is Christopher Sabat or Sean Schimmel. Or Vic Mignogna.
Honestly, the one thing that I mean, y'all know my love for Bryce Papenbrook at this point, but his Italian
What?
accent's a little off.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
My main issue is with Joseph himself, though.
Oh, I thought Joseph sounded pretty good.
I wasn't a fan of him.
I actually liked
I-
Ben Diskin there, and I found out as well that he. I can't believe that Ben Diskin used that same voice as number one for from Codename Kids Next Door. That's the one that took me for a ride. I'm like, wait a second, really?
Yeah, I
God damn.
thought Ben Diskin did a good job with Joseph, but
Yeah.
I think we're going to agree to disagree on this one, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I did find him impressive in some of the more serious scenes, but like with Joseph's character in general, he's a lot more goofy.
Yeah.
And I
I
just
know Ben
didn't like
Diskin
these.
as two different characters that are very different characters. And it's like, I knew Ben Diskin's name from Young Xehanort first, and then saw that he played Joseph, and I'm like, really? How the fuck?
Oh my god!
Yeah. It threw me for a loop, but it worked.
He was also Sai from Naruto.
Oh, hey.
Oh really?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I can see it.
I ended up watching Naruto in the dub as well because I was like, at first though, like I just wasn't big on dubs in general, and then I was like, oh, I'll give it a chance, and I actually fell in love with it.
I guess I'll give my 2 cents is if I can watch something in a dub that's not butchered, I would usually prefer the dub simply because it's just easier for me to focus on something.
Yeah,
Because that's just me. I like both, and some shows I can only watch sub though, and
Yeah.
some shows I can only watch dub.
Mhm.
I mean that's fair. Like I can only watch Yu-Gi-Oh in the dub.
I can only watch Yu-Gi-Oh subbed. Like that's a very bad dub.
It is a
yeah.
horrible dub, but my nostalgia for it refuses to let me watch it in the sub.
Alright.
I watched
dear.
it once in the sub, but when I rewatch it, I watch the dub.
So, after all of this, and we ready to drive, we zoom back to Cause, and we realize he's the nicest villain of them all.
Oh,
because
yes!
the drunk drivers are about to run over a dog, and he kills the drivers, saving the dog's life, meaning Cause is actually the hero.
Cars is actually, the friendliest villain ever. Because no other villain would do that.
Cars is just a precautionary tale for vegans today.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I think the joke goes on that every time Cause sees a villain kills a dog, he goes, "Those monsters!"
Yeah, exactly.
I just wanted to commit genocide to the whole human species, but these people are killing dogs.
But dogs, that's too far. I draw the line at that.
Human species.
This is why the human
Human.
species need to die.
SMH.
But yeah, they get to the place where the package was going, and then the Nazis come.
Now we didn't expect the Third Reich to show up.
first.
What?
Weren't they there first?
Yeah, the Nazis were there slightly before, and the Nazis stop them, I think.
So they make it to the little snow place.
Yes.
Or should we...
And they kind of they set up camp there, and I guess they have drinks with them, something like that.
Hey, they kind of put them in a cozy cottage for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like, man, these not too bad now. All of a sudden.
And Carl walks up to the building, senses how many lives are in the building, kills all of them with his speed, but
one survived. One was...
I did sense your life force.
And let's see here.
Yeah, Solheim's Japanese voice was great.
Hells yeah.
I may not agree 100% with Mr. Joseph, but Solheim's Japanese voice is almost irreplaceable.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh my goodness, Stroheim's Japanese voice was...
tried, but you can't get that ham.
Yeah, you can't. It's impossible. Oh my gosh. Stroheim suddenly goes from like, oh, he's like, but he also has pride, and he wants to avenge his comrades. To suddenly, this dude is the most hammiest ham that's ever ham on.
You really forced that, didn't you?
Exactly.
He really did. But, yeah, the episode ends with Buddy.
Stream.
With his... Yes. No, it begins with it.
Hey, but the episode 19 starts off with I'm using his machine gun body. And
Yeah, his...
my God, I
the,
love this pose. I love this pose. I love it.
Which is now I get to show you the other 4Kidsified thing from
I
part
love
2.
This pose. I love it. I can't live without it.
Let me see here.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh.
Looking for it's no.
Okay, so it's a single image here, but I'll post it and I'll read it out loud for y'all folks at home. Give up now, Carl! You're no match for my super plunger blaster!
With all these suction cups, you will.
they're poison suction cups, right?
Maybe the most absurd one. Not the most, but up there with the most absurd One Piece edits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. But yeah, he mirrors what Joseph did to Straits in the first bit, and tries to pump Cars full of lead, but Cars deflects everything. It's like
With his blade that has blades.
yes, that's his secret.
And his secret is he has chainsaw blades, really.
Very, very
That's
tiny
somehow
chainsaw
now-
blades.
At the speed of light?
Yes. And
So-
and
So this
Stroheim's like,
fight is more of a chase than a fight, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stroheim's like, impossible! How could you deflect that? I tuned this bullet to match Santana's specifics to absolutely blow Santana out of the water. And Cars,
How?
now, remember this, okay? Remember how I said Stroheim was the one that named Santana, but Cars immediately catches onto this somehow, and he's like, oh, Santana was like our guard dog, bruh. What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, bruh, how do you
Maybe
know what he's
Stroheim
talking
meant-
about? How do you...
Maybe
Maybe
he,
I had a lucky guess.
That
like,
doesn't make
context
sense.
clues.
How is he
like,
supposed to
'cause-
know that was his...
Because it was the only Pillarman that wasn't attached to the other three.
Yeah,
So
but,
it would
like...
be a case of like, oh, I did it for this other Pillar Man. Well, that other Pillar Man wasn't part of our group. Can you not tell? My God, what, you think we just didn't like him? No, he was a weakling.
But yeah,
Uh,
pretty much Stroheim gets yeeted out of this fight.
he gets,
Rejected, I think.
yeah, he gets diced.
Again.
Yeah, this dude cannot stay in one piece for very long.
Yeah, that's why he moved to Georgia.
Damn it, how am I supposed to find the one piece if I'm in several pieces?
Dreaming, don't give it up,
could
Stroheim,
not-
dreaming. Don't give it up. Don't give it up. Give it up.
I could not resist, okay?
Here's how the story goes. We find out about it in the Grand Line. of Contact.
Alright, let's continue. But yeah, this is more of a chase for the Red Son of Asa, and this is, once again, a mind game battle. Which is probably why Part 2 is a very good precursor to Part 3. Some of these fights are hardly fights, they're more of a chess game.
Exactly, it's more psychological than any of the other,
Because both Cars and Joseph are trying to get the Red Son of Asa.
The way it's
Hey.
displayed, it's like you're playing a chess game, but you don't know how to play chess. but you still managed to get the 4-move checkmate.
Mm-hmm. And like,
Like,
so they're both running towards the Redstone of Asia at this point as it's going off a cliff. But like, oh no, Cars isn't slowing down, so I guess I shouldn't either. And so they
it's an intriguing fight because we go from one mine to the next mine very consistently.
Absolutely, and we're seeing their thought processes unfold as literally they're just running towards this cliff. And they jump off of it. But like,
Probably the best part of all of this is how you think one of them has outsmarted the other, but the other has a counter plan.
Yeah.
exactly. Like Joseph knows he can't. Joseph and Cars both know that Joseph can't survive that fall, whereas Cars most likely can, and Joseph takes that into account. But Joseph still manages to save the stone, and still survive, while
With vanilla ice.
yeah, while
Minus the vanilla.
Cars literally pinballs himself at the bottom. Like, how can
And then randomly throws this into laughter.
Oh yeah. That's his that was
That
the
must be
random ass
his thing.
quirk. Yeah, there you go. He like has a really serious face and all of a sudden it's just I
It made Titus and Yuna proud.
was about to say
And
Final Fantasy X joke.
yeah. Oh,
But
I
yeah.
know. It's the guy with the blonde hair.
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a very cool little sequence. So so after the day, Caesar is getting impatient because they pretty much figure out where Cars' base is, and Caesar,
Oh yeah. By the way, we skipped the worst part of the dub ever.
What's the what part?
Caesarino.
Nice.
Huh?
Very nice, Caesarino.
Oh yeah.
I hate it so much.
It doesn't have the same ring to it. It's just nice, very nice, Shiza-chan.
He could have just left it at Caesar and it would have been fine, but it had to be Caesarino.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even think it was that bad. It didn't faze me. So
I don't know. It's just one of those things where
Yeah,
it's like
it's one of those
I can
things that you can't
accept-
ignore.
I can accept 4 kids finger guns.
no,
Oh
I
my-
cannot accept the finger gun Elmia. Do not say that Caesarino is worse than that. Holy
It
hell.
irks me. Like, the thing is, it's like the entire dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like that, but not JoJo's ones. Like, it's just that one moment where it's like, when all of Yu-Gi-Oh's dub is like,
Yeah.